Welcome to Freeway Moments. In this episode we will be looking at graphics. I'll be showing this in Freeway Express. Freeway Pro users will find that the interface is different in some places. Let's start off by drawing a graphic box on the page. In this graphic box I'm going to import a picture from iPhoto. So if I switch to iPhoto, I can select the picture I wish to bring in and drag and drop it onto the box I've just drawn in Freeway. You notice that the box highlights, so you can see where the image is going to end up. As you can see, the image is much bigger than the box I drew in Freeway. It's a picture from a digital camera, and as you know, digital cameras take very large images these days. What we want to do is to scale the image down so it fits inside the box and doesn't distort. Normally you would expect to do this in another graphics editing program, but Freeway will do all the work for you. So all we need to do is to call up a contextual menu by holding down Control and clicking on the image, and we can choose Scale and Pad from the options which appear in the graphic menu. The image has now been scaled to fit nicely inside the box. I still want to adjust the composition of this image a bit. Now I can crop the image by dragging the corners of the box in so that they only show the part of the picture I wish to show on the web page. I can grab the handle in the middle and move the image around as well inside the box, and I think that will just about do it. So there we have one cropped scaled image which was originally in iPhoto. What I'd like to do now is make this picture look a bit more like a photograph. So if I open the Inspector palette and click on the Appearance tab, I've got a number of options available to me. I can add a drop shadow, I can put a glow around the image, or a border. What I'd like to do is to put a white border around it with a drop shadow, so I'm going to click on Border with Shadow. If I open the Border Disclosure triangle, I can choose a colour for my border, which in this case I'm going to make it white, and I'm going to make the size of the border around 12 pixels in size, and that gives us a nice drop shadow effect with a white border around the picture. If I click on the Rotate tool, I can rotate this image, and I think we'll need to tweak the shadow a bit just so we have a bit of definition around the left hand side. So let's give that a bit of a tweak, make the offset a bit bigger perhaps, and there's our finished picture. And don't forget, even with these effects applied, you can still pan images around and change the crop, so don't be frightened to apply effects because they just will not impact on the original image. The next thing I'm going to show you is how Freeway Composite Images. This is a real time saver, as you won't have to keep hopping in and out of other graphics applications to move graphical elements around on your page. You simply import the elements to your Freeway page and move them around at will. What I'm going to do is import another image onto this page. I draw out another graphic box, and with that still selected, I'm going to File and Import, and I'm going to select an image. This is a PNG file which has some nice transparency in it. Now as you can see, that image is quite large, so I shall make it fit the box as we did before and fit the box to the graphic. As you can see, we have some nice transparency in the windows and a really nice smooth edge around the outline of the car. If I move this image over the photograph, you'll see that even the shadow has transparency. So to make it a little bit more realistic, by holding down Shift and Alt, I'm going to make the car a bit smaller, and I can reposition that on the photograph. So there we have two images which are composited together. When Freeway builds the site, it will create one image out of those two. And if you want to move the car for any reason, it's just as easy as dragging any other kind of box. One thing we can do with images in Freeway is change the kind of box which holds the picture. At the moment the house is contained in a rectangle, but using the inspector palette, we can change that to an oval, which is nice, especially as the car bleeds over the edge of that. We can also, if we switch back to rectangle and then go to path, change the shape of the object by dragging the corners. And now we've got a rather interesting box shape instead of the normal rectangle we usually see. Again, the picture inside is still movable and scalable as always, and again we can move the car around as well. So everything is very, very flexible, and you'll very likely have a great deal of fun playing with images alone in Freeway. So in this moment we found out how to import pictures from iPhoto, how to scale and crop images, applying effects to the boxes, as well as how to composite images and change the shape of boxes as well. And pretty much now it's up to you to have fun with images in Freeway. Goodbye.